Hey, folks. Hey, great morning here. This is Wesley, $1 billion Virgin, with another Sunday mindset message for you. Well, to get your week up and going here. Okay, I do this every Sunday as much as humanly possible. I am Wesley, $1 billion Virgin. I am a self-made millionaire here out of Houston, Texas here. And I go live every Sunday to talk to you, people like yourself, men and women around the planet, who seek prosperity, who seek happiness, and people out there that wants to navigate the planet in a way to be able to get what you want here. So how you doing here? Today we're going to talk about this morning here. I'm not going to hold you too long here, I promise you. We're going to talk about mastering the basics. Okay? Mastering the basics here. Mastering the basics here. And let me share something with you here. The basics is the inception of all success and of anything that you would do on a very high level in your life. Okay? I want everybody to comment those words below. I must. Comment these words, please. I must master the basics. Okay? Go ahead and do that for me. I must master the basics. Hey, Steph. Hey, Anthony. Go ahead and comment your names here below. Let me give everybody a shout out on this beautiful, gorgeous Sunday morning. I woke up feeling so just revived, so rejuvenated. And today is going to be a day of meditation, a day of work, a day of really, really getting deep into my own personal work here, what I'm working on right now. We have a couple of challenges, and we're going to work on those with my team, and I'm excited for that. But I didn't want to miss the opportunity to speak with you. Hey, Helen, how are you? Hey, Muhammad, how are you? Max, good morning here. Great morning. Hey, Mary Kay, have Bill credit with Ayana. Good morning. Thank you, Anthony Harvey. Bren, how are you? Andrew, how are you doing? Absolutely. Harmony, how are you? Hassan, Hassana, how are you? Tiffany, $1 Million Virgin, how are you? Dr. Sharice, how are you? Selena, how are you? Justin, Miss Shevers here. See, a lot of you are chiming in here. So let's get into mastering the basics here. And what I want to do, I kind of want to take you down the road of what I mean by mastering the basics and what are some of the most important things when you're looking to transform your life, aka finances, even your relationships with significant others, and just your overall quality of life. Okay? Because many of you kind of know my story, the brevity of my story in my 20s. I wanted to be rich. That's just what I wanted. I got terminated from a job, and I just had to make a decision that a job, aka just over broke, was not going to fit Wesley Virgin here. And when I made that move, I made that shift, I did what most people do, such as yourself. I immediately started to dovetail into different companies, businesses, and trying different things, and listening to the YouTube videos, listening to the motivational videos, searching how to make money online. I got introduced to self-development, started to read the books, got introduced to Tony Robbins, started to go to those seminars, internet marketing seminars, network marketing seminars. Spent a lot of time doing that in my 20s. But, however, through reading, by the way, I discovered I was not mastering the basics. I thought and I assumed that there was something big, huge, that I needed to do to be able to transform the man that was a thousandaire to a millionaire. And I think, honestly, a lot of you, that's where you are, right? You're making thousands of dollars, right? And maybe you're in debt a little bit, and you're getting older, right? Obviously, you're getting older, and you feel that you're not making progress. And I truly believe that, a ton of you, you're thinking that there's something huge that you must do to have a breakthrough in your life. And I'm here to explain to you that is not the case. Okay? It's small things that you may say are trivial things that you need to do consistently on a consistent basis to be able to achieve wealth. Please write that down. Okay? There are small things that are necessary for you to do to be able to manifest and have the life that you're destined to have. Okay? Hey, Lucas, how are you? So let me give you some of the basics here. Let me give you some of the basics that I've mastered. And listen, I didn't get this until my later 20s. I spent a long time because I was so dogmatic, so stubborn. I didn't listen to anyone. Anybody else like that? You just think that you know. All right, I would tell people, oh, no, I know this already. I read the book already. I've been to the seminar already. Oh, I did that before. Oh, I know about that. I know about this. And I didn't realize that I was debilitating myself from experiencing new information that would eventually lead me into millions of dollars. And a lot of you, that's where you are. It's not like you're stuck, literally, but you're stuck mentally. Because the ego in all of us, we want to feel that everything is working out, right? And that we got it handled and that we know. But let me share something with you. You don't know. Because if you did know, you'll be doing exactly what you need to do to get what you want. If you did know, you wouldn't be at a job right now. Right? If you already knew what you needed to do to be able to transform or have the prosperity and be able to bless your children like you want to bless them and travel the world and buy what you want and take care of your family, take care of your mom and dad and retire them, you wouldn't be on this live right now. Does that make sense? Like if you already knew that, you wouldn't be complaining about your debt. You wouldn't be complaining about the world. You wouldn't be complaining about other people, right? So, which means is, and what I want you to understand, that it's okay not to know. It's natural. It's normal of not to know. But what is not okay is to think that you got it figured out and you don't. Okay? And that's why I'm here. I'm your virtual mentor. But for me to pour in you, for me to actually help you, you have to capitulate. Okay? Which means you have to surrender to me or to somebody. Because I can't share my beliefs, my theory, or not even my theory, my experiences with you that I know work if you don't decide to take them in and to make them applicable to your life. Because you might as well leave the audio, you might as well leave the podcast if you're not going to do that. Some of you are what is called pickers and choosers. You pick certain information from mentors or gurus or people like me that are here on the planet that's just really exposing this type of information to you. But you only pick and choose what you want to hear and what you want to apply based off your own personal beliefs. Let me share some with you. Whoever you choose to be your mentor, your virtual mentor, whoever man or woman that you listen to the most, if you're going to listen to that person, you got to be willing to do 100% of the deal. And I understand that it's scary because you don't know. It's unknown. You don't know if it's going to work, but you have to trust somebody. Does that make sense? It's important because if you don't, because many people do this, they listen to people on the internet, they go to seminars, but they pick and choosers. They don't do the whole deal. Listen to make millions, like to really be happy in life, to have the mentality of it. Does that make sense? To have this type of mentality, you have to be all in. Does that make sense? You have to truly immerse yourself in this type of content. You have to be willing to separate yourself from all the beliefs and all the attitudes and behaviors of your past, and be willing to assimilate new information. Does that make sense? So are you with me? Okay. Did I scare any of you away? Okay, great. So, number one, when you're mastering the basics as it relates to really transforming everything in your life, everything that's important in your life, and usually the most important parts of a person's life is their finances, their body, their health, and their love relationships, right? Everybody they would like to maybe find a significant other that they love and care about. That's exactly what they want. Someone that's nurturing, encouraging, someone that's beautiful and intelligent and cute and handsome and pretty, right? That's one. Two, every person on here wants to look good, right? You want to have a beautiful body. You want to look clean. You want to look capable. You want to have a body that turns you on. You want people to compliment you. Like, you want to have that type of body that when someone looks at you, say, wow, that person, you look amazing. And then three, you want to be rich, period. You want to have a ton of money, more money than you ever can spend, which means, like, imagine never thinking about finances again. Like, imagine never having to call your bank account to make sure your car goes through. Imagine never seeing a negative balance in your bank account, ever again. Imagine seeing 6 and 7 figures in several bank accounts. Imagine traveling the world first class with your daughter or your son. Imagine with your husband, with your wife, with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, just traveling on a Monday, going to Bora Bora, going to Paris, spending thousands and thousands of dollars on the things that you want. It's a totally different life, right? So what I want you to understand is you can have that, okay? You can have all that. Like, imagine having a very close, genuine connection to your children, right? That you're not just a talker. Most parents are just talkers, such as they say, hey, you can do anything. Hey, just go work hard at school. Hey, I believe in you. But that's just a talker, because the question the kid is going to have is, well, mom, dad, what are you doing? Why are you not achieving anything? I don't see any progress. My children are smart now. They're not dumb. They're not going to listen to what you say. They're going to see what you do. It's all about your activities and your behavior. And then they want to see the progress, right? They just like anybody else. They want to see progress as well, okay? So imagine having a very deep connection to your children that, man, they're inspired by you. That's what you want, by the way. For everybody has a child. Who has a child on here? Say amen. If you have a kid, children, okay? If anything, hey, Julie, your children should be your inspiration. Like, if anything else, your children should be your why. That should be the reason why you want to stop drinking so much, stop the drugs, stop the negative behavior, stop the casual sex, stop devaluing yourself. Because you are a representative of what they will become, right? You are a representative. They're looking at you. Everything that you do, they're paying attention, okay? All right, so one, write this down. I'm going to master the basics here this morning here. Woo, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good this morning. All right, check it out. So, one, the first step is you have to know what you truly want. And I want you to spend some time on this Sunday. Like after I'm done here, I really want you to think deeply about this. And I know some of you you're in an urgent rush to figure that out, right? And I know some of you right now, I already know what I want. Right? I know there's some woman out there. I already know what I want. Wesley, just get to the point. Oh, God. You got to listen, be teachable, right? You got to calm down. You have to know what you want. And this is the basics. Because without knowing exactly what you want for your life, like just how you want to experience life, it doesn't matter what you do. Okay? It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how many seminars you go to, how many books you read, how many times you meditate. Like, it really does not matter at all. If you don't have a blueprint, it's similar to, I always speak about this analogy here. Listen, please. About building a home. Like when I turn like 60 or 55, I don't know, I may build a home. It's going to be like a $10 million property here. Now, listen, when I get ready to build that home in the neighborhood of my choice, okay, the first step of building a home is not going to the hardware store and finding bricks, plywood, finding a toilet, getting some glass, some windows for the home. That is not the first step. The first step is not even pouring the foundation. Okay? The first step of building the home of my dreams is the blueprint. It's me sitting at a table with builders, interior designers, with a bunch of people, and we put on paper Wesley's vision of the home. Does that make sense? No one is bringing out hammers and nails. We don't have the plumbing department, the electricity department. No, not at all. Okay? No. What we're going to do for the next, and it depends on how big it depends on how large you want the home. Because if you want like a 10,000 square foot home, it may take about 6 to 8 months just to build the blueprint out. Just to build the blueprint. Okay? Are you with me here? That's very similar to building a life. Okay? I get it. You guys are out there, you're trying different things. You're searching the internet. I'm going to try this. I'm going to sell lotions. I'm going to sell potions. I'm going to get in network marketing. I'm going to do internet marketing. I'm going to be a YouTube. I'm going to be a TikToker and blah, 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 blah. I get it. But do you know why most people fail? Consistently fail in what they're trying to do. And they're so irritated and frustrated because they have not properly planned out the blueprint on how they want to live. And see, in my 20s, I did it backwards. I did it like you. That's what I was doing. I was just trying so many different things. But deep inside, I didn't really know what I wanted. Like I said, I want to be a millionaire. But, come on, that's vague. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, obviously. But what does that even mean? Many people, what you don't realize about being a millionaire, everybody's experience of a millionaire who are actually millionaires, they have a different experience. Like, my experience of a millionaire is very different to maybe a Tyler Perry or maybe Oprah Winfrey or maybe somebody else that makes the type of money that I make, right? They have a different experience. Some people, they don't buy cars. I buy cars. Some people, they buy a lot of houses. I have homes, but, not a lot of personal properties. But, some people want to buy a lot of jewelry. I don't buy too much jewelry. Some people just want to just travel and not, everybody has their own experience with their millions of dollars. Some people just keep the money in the bank and live like a poor person. Okay. Makes sense. So it's important for you to understand and to know, what do I want? What do I really want? How do I want to experience life? Does that make sense? Or do I need to go deeper? Let me know if I need to go deeper, because I want you to get a deep understanding of this, because without that deeper understanding, you won't do anything. If you want me to go deeper, I can go deeper. Because I want you to understand what I mean by you need to know what you want, right? You need to know that you need to have the blueprint, okay, of what you want. Am I making sense? Okay, somebody said deeper here. So let me give you an example. Most of you have an 8 to 5 job, 9 to 5 job, 3 to 11. Most of you work for people. Get it? And almost all of you don't want to work for people, right? So imagine if you didn't have a job. Imagine if you would just get up in the morning, but you didn't have to rush and hurry to work. You didn't have to, get ready, take a shower, get in the car, put your clothes on, go through traffic, get to the job. Say if you didn't have to do that. My question to you is, what would you do? Like let's just eliminate the job, and I want you to comment below, and I want you to really, really think for a second. What would you do if you didn't have the 10 or 12 hour or 8 hour job? Some of you would be devastated. It's so funny. People don't realize, you're like, oh, I hate my job, I don't want to work. But as soon as you don't have a job, it's like, okay, what do I do? You know why people are like that? Because it's like they never thought about the day of not having a job, because they've been conditioned so deeply that I go here for 8 to 10 hours. I do this for 8 to 10 hours every single day. So it consumes my day. So it gives me something to do, even though I don't want to do it, but it gives me something to do. Make sense? So my question to you is, and this is a real question to you right now, what would you be doing if you didn't have to get up tomorrow morning to go to work? Comment below. What would you do? See, this is designing the life, right? Because if this is the life you want, what you going to do? Let me give you an example. Let me tell you what I wrote down, because obviously I did it, right? I wrote this down and I started to build a blueprint. It took me about 3 to 4 months to build a blueprint, by the way. 3 to 4 months. I was not thinking about the internet marketing business. I wasn't thinking about any type of business opportunities. Only thing I was doing for days, and I shared the story over and over again, how I went to this park in this very gated community, very rich, very wealthy community, and I was just writing down exactly the life that I wanted. I separated from people, and I was just in my own zone. And I was getting very clear about what I wanted, the blueprint for my life. So listen, if I eliminated a job, and it's going back when I was 28, 29 years old, I said, you know what? I'm going to wake up whenever the sun comes up. I'm going to wake up when my body wakes up. I'm not going to be disturbed by an alarm clock. I'm not going to be disturbed by anybody else. I'm just going to wake up whenever my body says it has the proper amount of sleep. Okay? That's one. And after that, I'm going to get up every morning. I must go to the gym. That's how I start my mornings. Obviously I meditate, but I'm just telling you some of the things that I do, right? What I wrote down, I said I got to go to the gym, go have my protein shake. The gym is very necessary for me. It's a must. As a matter of fact, I prefer to only date women that work out. If you don't work out, if you're super cute, I guess, but honestly, I like a woman that's active. I like an active woman. Women that are very active, the sex is better as well. Okay. All right, let me get back on track. So, like I said before, I want to wake up and I want to have my protein shake. And I want to get ready for the gym. It takes me about an hour, 2 hours to get ready for the gym, because it's a long process for me to look my best. That's another thing. I said, you know what? When I go to the gym, whenever I leave my house, now I wrote this down when I was broke. I said, when I leave my house, I want to look good. I want to look my very best. I want to smell my very best. My skin going to look healthy. My hair is going to look healthy. My teeth will be white. Even my lips, they're not going to be chapped. I'm not going to have ashy skin. I'm going to look like a Nike model, right? Coming out with my Nike gear on, right? Shoes going to be clean. I wrote this down, by the way. And I said, I'm going to go to the gym of my choice and I'm going to work out for an hour or two. When I get back, I'm going to have a chef. I wrote this down, by the way. I said, when I get back, now listen, this is when I'm 29 years old, okay? And I just came back from overseas. And, I'm going to say I'm broke because I had a job. If I have a job, I'm broke, period, right? I had a job and I was broke. And I said, and I wrote down, I said, well, when I come home, I want to have a chef to prepare my meals because I don't cook. I don't even want to cook. Don't even ask me to cook. I'm not going to cook, all right, period. I'm not going to cook ever, okay? I just don't want to. I'll boil an egg, and that's about it. And I can make scrambled eggs as well. And I can toast some raisin toast. That's the best I can do because I love breakfast. I am a lover of breakfast food. If you ever want to cook me something, make me breakfast, and I will be excited. But listen, what I wrote down, I said when I get back from the gym after the workout, I want to come back and I want my chef to have my meal ready for me, okay? Ready on the table for me to eat, okay? And I eat it. And at the same time, I wanted a housekeeper. Now, even before I was rich, I had a housekeeper, but the housekeeper would come in like once a week or once every 2 weeks, just like the average person does. But let me tell you what I wanted, okay? I wanted a housekeeper to come to my home every day. Now, why would I want that? Let me tell you why. I remember traveling for the first time, and this was like in my 20s here, like 25, 26, something like that. 26 was the first time I went out of the country. So the first time I actually stayed in the hotel, I was in Dubai. And I noticed every time I would leave the room and I would come back, the room was clean. I was like, oh, okay. It's like that. They're going to clean the room when I leave? Like, every time I leave this room, you're going to clean it? I'm going to throw my drawers, I'm going to throw my robe on the floor, and you're going to clean that? I'm going to take a shower, and it's going to be clean? Let me leave my room again. It's my first experience, right? Because I've never been out of the country. I've never really stayed in a hotel like that before, right? So I was like, this is what I want. I want this. Because, when we would leave the hotel and come back, it felt good to have a clean room. And I was in Dubai for a little while because I was working as a contractor. I said, ooh, I can get used to this. I like this, right? So I said, this is what I want. I want to have a housekeeper. Now, listen, at that time, I didn't know anybody that even had a housekeeper, more or less a housekeeper that would come every day. I didn't know. I'm serious because I didn't have any millionaire friends. I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have anybody to model. It was just all in my imagination, by the way. Okay. It was all in my imagination. Okay. So I said, okay, well, I need a housekeeper to come every day, period. Okay. I want a housekeeper to clean my home. I want them to wash my clothes. Some housekeepers don't wash their clothes, by the way. Now, some of you feel a certain way about that because you have this conundrum, which is, oh, I don't want someone touching my drawers, my panties, touching my bras. And I'm like, why? Who cares? What's the big deal about that? Right? I don't have any complexes around that. So I wanted them to wash my clothes. I will have a maid housekeeper that's going to wash my clothes. They're going to clean the home. They're going to dust. They're going to vacuum every day. Okay? So when I came back from the gym, I want my house to be clean. I want to come back to a very clean home. Are you with me here? This is what I wrote down. Now pay attention. I'm giving you the basics here. It's important. Then I also wrote down that I wanted more than one car. Like I didn't want 2 cars. I didn't want 3 cars. I wanted a car from every day of the week. Okay? To drive every day of the week. Okay? Every day of the week. Now, did I know anyone at that time that had many cars? No, not personally. It's just what I wanted. All right? I wanted a few Lambos. I wanted some Rolls Royces. I wanted a McLaren. I wanted a BMW. I wanted GTS. I wanted Jeep. Like I wanted a different car because I wanted to have a car for every day of the week. That's just what I wanted. Okay? Are you with me here? Then I wanted to live in a high rise. As a matter of fact, I wanted to live in a penthouse. I didn't want a house. I've had a house before. One of the things you guys don't know about me, at the age of like 27, I had a house. Like, I had a house in Fresno that I sold for a pretty penny. I made a lot of money off that house. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about living in a home by yourself. It's boring. I mean, I had some good times in that home, but it was just boring. Honestly, I was by myself in this huge 3,000 square foot home, 2-story, and it was boring. And it's a lot of upkeep. So I say, so I sold it. Actually, I ended up renting that house, and I said, you know what I want? I want to live in a penthouse. Listen, please write this stuff down. I said I wanted to live in a penthouse. Okay? I want to be able to have a panoramic view. I want to be able to look at my city every day from my bedroom. And I want my home to be a technology home, which I mean all my shades, I want them to be automatic, my lights to be automatic. I want everything to be automatic here in my home. Okay, let me pause right there. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you understand? Comment the word amen if this is making sense to you. You must have the blueprint before you start to build. Write that down, please. You must. This is the basics. They don't talk about this on the internet, not too much. They just keep telling you what you got to do. Oh, you got to do this, 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 go do this, go do this. You know, be a YouTuber, be a Facebooker, join my network marketing organization. No, that is incorrect. Why do you think there's such a huge gap between the poor and the rich, or the average and the rich? It's a huge gap because you're misinformed. Okay? You're focusing on the how when the how, one, is none of your business, and you can't have a how without a blueprint, a map. Okay? You can't go to California if you've never been to California without a map. You'll just be driving. Where you going? California. Oh, really? Okay. And you're just driving, but you live in Houston, Texas. You get in your car. You want to go to California, but you don't have a blueprint. You don't have a map. So what ends up happening? You get lost. And when you get lost, you get frustrated. And then you get irritated and annoyed. And then you go back home. And that's your life. You're trying to go somewhere where you have never been. You've never been. You've never been rich. You've never been wealthy. You've never not had a job. Right? Like, you're trying to go somewhere you've never been. And most of you are in your vehicles and you're moving, but you're lost. Because it's a long road. It's a marathon, ladies and gentlemen. We have millions of people right now that have good intentions to be rich and successful. They want great relationships. They want the body of their dreams, but you're in a vehicle and you're just driving. And it doesn't matter how fast you drive if you don't know where you're going. And that's you. You don't know where you're going. Hello, can you listen? You don't know because you've never been there. Yeah, you've seen people rich. You've never met a rich person. You've probably been around a wealthy person, but you've never experienced it personally. Like the money in your bank account, doing all the things that you see other people do. You've never did it. So it's still foreign to you. Listen, you got to get a map. Okay? You got to get a blueprint. It's necessary. Write down these words below for me, please. All my queens and kings tonight are this morning here. Clarity is power. Clarity is power. If you listen to my podcast, you've heard me say this over and over again. And I'll continue to say it until you get it. Clarity is power. I want every person right now to write that in the comment section under this video. Or if you're on the podcast, write it in the podcast. Clarity is power. Listen, let me give you a secret. It may take some time for you to get clear about what you want. It may take months for you to get laser-like clarity around what you want. Okay? And if you're the person that's impatient and you're trying to urgently figure this thing out, it's not going to go so well. How many of you have you ever tried to run a marathon? Have you ever met a person that have never ran in their life and they try to sprint a marathon? Well, what happens to that person? Person has never ran a marathon in their life. That never even ran on a treadmill, right? Ever. But one day, they say, you know what? I'm going to run a marathon. And not only are they trying to run a marathon, they think they're going to sprint it. What happens to that person? What happens to a person that attempts to run a marathon who have never ran a day in their life? They're going to pass out. And you may die. That's you. You're trying to run a marathon, but you're trying to sprint. Right? You want to be rich so badly, and you want to be successful, so you're running fast, right? But you've never done it before. And now you're tired. You're devastated. You're depressed. Man, it's hard. Because you didn't pace yourself. This is not a race, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to burn out and you're going to quit. You're going to go right back to the job that you can't stand. You're going to go back to the life that you can't stand. You're going to go back to the debt that you can't stand. You're going to go back to that normal, average life that you can't stand. Because you're moving too fast. Listen, it's not about how fast you make $1 million. It's not about how fast it takes for you to create this delicious body. Okay? It's not about how fast that it's going to take for you to be in a functional relationship. What's important is that you finish. That's it. It doesn't matter if you're number 1, number 2. You could be number 2,000. It's plenty of millionaires, millions and millions of millionaires on the planet. Some people make it in their 20s. Some people do it in their 30s. Some people in their 40s. Some people 50s and 60s. It doesn't matter when it's done. What matters is that it gets done. Does that make sense? Write this down, please. Stop comparing yourself to who. Listen, don't compare yourself to the person who. Don't compare yourself to the people who are today. Okay? Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to what people are today. Like me, you cannot compare yourself to a man that's worth $40 million. You cannot compare yourself to a man that flies first class around the world. You can't compare yourself to a man have over $500,000 worth of clothes and shoes in my closet for no reason. You can't compare yourself to a man that pay $15,000 a month for rent. You can't compare yourself to a man, my insurance alone is $4,000 a month. You can't compare yourself to a man that pay $7,000 a month for his vehicles. You can't compare yourself to a man that spends over $2,000 on a haircut per month. Compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. This is how an individual makes progress. Does that make sense? Can I get an amen, please? Listen, you got to get in your own zone. Write that down. I must get in my own zone. Ladies and gentlemen, like, it's great to have a reference, right? Like, I'm a reference of what's possible. You see what I have, you see what I do. Okay, I like that. Cool. But you got to get in your own zone, like your zone, right? I'm in my zone. Your zone is just your life, your capabilities, your beliefs, what you want to do, what you're willing to do. You got to be able to measure yourself based on what you did yesterday. Think, yesterday was Saturday. Okay, so what did you do yesterday? Whatever you did yesterday, was it applicable to your success or was it the totally opposite? Okay, so today is a new day. So what do I need to do today to ensure I do more of what I didn't do yesterday? Listen, if you do that every day for an entire year, you'll be a totally different person. Comment these words below. I must get in my own zone, your zone. Stay in your own lane. Okay? You're running a marathon. You see somebody running past you. And you're like, oh my God, this person just passed me. I need to speed up. No. Just because you see somebody pass you, you're like, oh, I got to speed up now. No. You may have a heart attack. Because you don't know their story. You don't know their why. You don't know why they're there. Same thing in success and business and anything in life. You see other people passing you up. Man, they passing me up. I need to go faster. No, you may quit. You don't know what their why is. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You may be a person, I don't know. You're working 2 hours a day. They're working 10 hours a day. And now you're trying to work 10 hours a day. But you're not ready to work 10 hours a day. And you don't wonder why you can't do it because you don't understand their why. You don't know their story. Like, you don't know what's going on in that person's head. See, this is the reason why I try my best to go live and try to share my content here, because you don't know what's going on in my head. It's a lot. You don't know my why. You may say, why is this man, like, he's so consistent? He's doing these rants, he's doing these podcasts. He runs over 15 different companies. He makes contributions to the world, and he's always talking to us for free. Why would a man do that that's worth $40 million that can do whatever he wants to do? Because you don't know my why. You don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. You don't know my story. You only know the glory. You only know what's happening now. But you don't know where I came from. I'm never going back there, ever. Never going back to the past. Never going to be broke again. I'm never going to fly coach. I'm never going to stay in a one-star hotel. Ever. I'm never going to stay in a rink-a-dink apartment. I'm never going to stay in a neighborhood that I know that's not safe. Does that make sense? Ever. I'm never going to tell my children I don't have the money. Well, I'm sorry, baby, I don't have the money. Maybe next week when I get paid. Never. You'll never hear those words out of my mouth until I die. Never. It's never going to happen. Okay? You're never going to hear me, oh, man, I made a lot of money, but now I'm broke. Never. I don't know what happened, man. I lost everything. Never. It's never going to happen. Not to me. Maybe to others, but not to me. Are you with me now? Okay? I'm never going to be fat. I'm never going to be unhealthy. I'm never not going to have nice skin. I'm never not going to have this beautiful smile. I'm always going to have a body of a Greek god, period. Every day of my life working out, pushing it. 70, 80, 90, 100 years old. I don't care. I'm never going back. Okay? So, we're mastering the basics here. One, you got to know what you want. Okay? Write that down. Okay? I just gave you a clear description of what that means. You got to be very clear about it. This first step. Next, I'm mastering the basics. You have to form, or you have to acquire some new rituals. Okay? Habits. You have to acquire some new habits and new rituals for your life. Listen up. Your habits and your rituals is the reason why you're exactly who you are today. Like men and women. Hello? Are you guys still here? Come with the word amen if you're still listening to me here. Okay? I can't see your face. How many of you believe that your habits and your rituals is the reason why your life is what it is? However it is, you know. If you're unhappy, it's because of your rituals and your habits. If you're fat, overweight, unhealthy, it's because of your rituals and your habits. If you don't have a ton of money in your bank account right now, you have just enough to get by every single month, it's because of your rituals and your habits. If you have bad looking skin, right? Even if your breasts stink, right? You have bad rituals and bad habits, okay? If you look tired all the time, you look old in the face because of your rituals and your habits, okay? Does that make sense? If you're living in an apartment right now, there's nothing wrong with living in an apartment, but, if you're living in an apartment or a place that you don't want to live in, it's not you. It's because of your rituals and your habits. Like whatever car you drive right now, think about the car you drive. It's because of your rituals and habits. Think about the places you go. Like think about where you're going to go today. Where are you going to drive to? How many of you are going to Walmart? How many are going to the dollar store? Okay. Rituals and habits, man. Some of you got to go get groceries today, huh? Yeah, rituals and habits. I don't shop for groceries. Okay. I would never do that. That's just me. Because I didn't want to. Now listen, that was in the blueprint. I said, you know what? Shopping at grocery stores is for the birds. I don't want to do this. It takes a time. It takes a way for me to work, to do what I do. So somebody else is going to purchase my groceries for me. As a matter of fact, you'll probably never see me in the grocery store alone. If you see me in any store, it's probably with a woman, some female that I'm dealing with, or my children. That's about it. You know what I mean? Other than that, you're not going to see me in no grocery store. You're not going to see me at H-E-B. You're not going to see me in Walmart. You're not going to see me in Target. You'll never see me here. Not alone. Ever. Okay? Period. Never. Because I don't want to. Because I have people to do that for me. Does that make sense? Now, don't get upset at me. It's not me being cocky. And it's not me being braggadocious. It's just what I wanted. One thing I want you guys to understand, and this is very important here, listen up. When you get ready to write down the blueprint about what you want for your life, don't allow other people to tell you that you shouldn't have that. Because some people, I remember I told this person that, well, I have a maid, I don't clean my house. And they say, oh, you're lazy. I said, I'm lazy because I don't want to clean my house. And you have to understand that that person was operating on a different level frequency, very different. And he was operating on the frequency that most people do, right? Some people said they enjoy cleaning their house. Great. If you enjoy it, do it. I don't enjoy it. Some people enjoy cutting their grass. I don't. Why would I ever do that? That's just silly, in my opinion. I don't want to. Hey, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. If it brings you joy to wash your clothes because it's therapeutic for you, go ahead. But I don't want to do it. I want to get massages and facials and relax and work. Travel the world, get my nails done, and that's about it. I don't want to do any type of labor stuff. That's not my deal. So what I'm saying to you is don't let anybody else tell you what you should or what you should not have, because it's your blueprint, it's your map for your future. Don't let anybody persuade you or convince you and say, oh, no, you shouldn't do that. You know, it's all right to clean sometimes. It's all right to do this sometimes. It's all right to blah, 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 whatever. If that's not what you want, then I would advise you not to listen to them, because it's your life, it's not theirs. Okay? So, mastering the basics here, like I said before, you have to get some rituals and habits, man. I mean, which means a lot of things that you're currently doing, you got to stop. And let me tell you something, it's not going to be fun, because many of the habits and rituals that are necessary to become wealthy or to become the greatest version of yourself, even to have a great body, it's a lot of discipline. Like, you know how disciplined a person has to be that has the body that you like? You ever seen a woman or a man that has the body that you want? You're like, man, well, I mean, it's very insane. I mean, what they got to do, from protein shakes, from eating certain types of foods, of working out in the gym for 2 to 3 hours, sometimes twice a week. I mean, twice a day. I mean, it's a lot. You don't see that. You just see that beautiful body when you're out in the club. You're like, ooh, dang, that person look good. Yeah, but you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. It's a lot. It's the discipline. Okay, write that down as well. Same thing when you make money. Okay? You have to separate from almost everybody, honestly. You can't, like, if you want to move faster through this process, you have to literally almost isolate yourself from everybody that is like you. You can't be around people that's like you, by the way. You cannot. It's very difficult to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. You're going to lose friends. It's just obvious to lose friends, because these people are just like you. Now, the only reason why you like these people, because they're just like you. As people, we tend to be around people that are like us. You make $30,000 a year, they make $30,000 a year, you like them. You drive a Honda Accord, they drive a Honda Accord. You drive a Camry, they drive a Camry. Focus, right? Pretty girl. You're a pretty girl, I'm a pretty girl, so we're going to hang around together. I go to the gym, you go to the gym. People hang around people that are like them. But the problem is, most people are inadequate people. They're not capable, right? They're unhealthy, they're broke, and they're toxic, extremely emotional people, right? Which means if you want to change that about yourself, you have to let Pookie and Ray Ray go. Okay? Somebody just asked about my course. If you want access to my course, go to howtomanifestnow.com. Again, that's howtomanifestnow.com. All right? Thanks for the badge, Jamila. Does that make sense? Rituals, habits, and disciplines. That's it. And if you don't know what rituals and what habits that you need to begin to do, even though you know what you got to do, come on. If you want to have a better body, like if you're tired of looking yourself in the mirror and, you know, you get sad or depressed, you want to throw up because your body is just not looking nice, just be honest. You know, some of you get out that shower and you look at yourself, you're like, ugh, like who would date me? Some of you women, you know, you need to take a good look at yourself. The women that want to find a man, you know, you want to find a man in your dreams, right? Well, the requirement for almost every man on the planet wants a woman with a nice body that looks good, by the way. They might not tell you. They might settle for your overweight self, or, you know, if you're a little bit chubby or whatever. And I'm not berating women, so get off that shit, all right? What I'm saying is every woman wants a woman that's sexy. Even a man that's not sexy, he wants one too. He just believes that he can't get it because of how he looks. And that's another thing with men. Man, if you look at yourself, you look at your body, and you just fat, your belly is over your freaking genitals, and, you know, you just look dirty and not clean and smelly, not shaving properly. I mean, come on. Who wants to deal with that? No one. Okay? No woman wants to deal with it. She probably just does it, but she just like, ugh. I mean, you know, I love him, but ugh, he's just so fat. He's just like, he's so skinny. I mean, I don't know, he's just normal. What I'm saying is the basics, the rituals and the habits are going to allow you to create the body of your dreams, okay? And everybody's capable of doing it. You know, I wish people would stop doing all this surgery crap, you know. To me, surgery is for lazy people. That's just me. Like if you're going to get abs, I mean, are you kidding me? They're sketching abs on people now. You know, giving you these fake butts. I get it. Breasts is fine for women. But even men are doing this now. Men are doing fat transfers to their butts now, and men are sketching out abs. To me, it's just lazy. Because anything that you can get done in a couple of hours from a doctor, all that means is you lack discipline to even maintain that. You're not going to maintain it. You're not, because you don't have the discipline to do it. Right? You just go back to the doctor. If you don't like it, you go right back to the doctor. I know people who just keep going back to the doctor all over. Every year, every 2 years, every 3 years. Oh, can you fix this a little bit? I had an apple pie. That make sense? Okay? Rituals, habits. So you think about the person that you want to become. Most people want to become very healthy and sexy, rich and wealthy, and a type of person that's able to function handsomely in a relationship, right? So work on those things. Go to the gym every day, at least 5 days a week. Like if you want to be exceptional, if I say, hey, you guys want to be outstanding? You'll be like, yeah. Okay, you want to be rich? Yeah. You want to be your best? Yeah. Go to the gym 5 days a week. All right. Cut out all the refined carbs. No more bread. Right. Eat foods that are whole foods, natural foods. Drink a ton of water. Stop all the soda pop. No more drinking any alcohol, because alcohol, I get it. It feels good, but it is a debilitator to the body. It weakens the body, and it's going to cause you to get fatter. People that work out, a ton of people that work out, usually they don't drink a lot. Or they don't drink at all. Like I don't drink at all. I don't drink at all. Right? Because it's just innovated to the body. It just weakens the body. It really does. Okay? Period. Like you want to be rich and successful? Okay, we do what rich and successful people do. You got to assimilate knowledge. You got to read. You got to master a skill, whatever that skill is. Whatever the skill, whatever you want to do, you got to master. That means you got to be in it for hours and hours and hours and hours a day, even when you don't make progress. Because you have to understand that you're working to master the skill. There are going to be times, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be painful moments, there are going to be times you're going to stop and quit and give up, but just don't, and you just continue to go. You got to continue to readjust, pivot, change, readjust a lot. And that's just what it is. Okay? Because you got to find the needle in the haystack. With businesses, companies, whatever, you have to try a ton of things, thousands and thousands sometimes. Sometimes you get lucky, boom. You hit something, you make a ton of money. Still, business itself is just a repetition. It's repeatedly doing the things, changing up, reading, learning from others, and to have this willingness to persevere. Are you with me here? Okay. But more importantly, you got to separate from people. You know, you just have to. You got to separate. And if you're not around people who are richer than you or more successful than you got to spend time by yourself. And to me, I prefer to be by myself. I like being alone because I live in a happy space. And if the people want to be around me, you need to live in a happy space as well. I don't want to be around a Debbie Downer. Like, I'd rather be alone than to be with people that are Debbie Downers. And there's a lot of them. Oh, there's so many of them. Oh, I get it. Everybody has problems. But not just that. Everybody wants to share their problems with you. Now, listen, if I'm dating a girl or I'm dating a woman, you know, I give you guys, listen, it's okay for me. Like, if I'm dating you, I'm making love to your body, you know, we have this emotion tap. That's different. I'm not talking about that. Okay, I'm just talking about these people that are always verbally vomiting all their issues and problems on you. Okay, I mean, come on. I don't want to hear that. Everybody has problems, and I don't need you to talk about your problems to me because I don't care. Honestly, I don't. No one cares about your problems, by the way. You may think they care, but they don't give a fuck. No one cares about your problems. They're just listening to you. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh, well, you got to do this and you got to do this. Stupidity. It's a waste of time. And it's a waste of time because it's going to stop your productivity. It's going to be very counterproductive to the person that you want to be. Trust me. You'll see as you get older, right? Stay away from the people who are unlucky and unhappy. Write that down, please. Stay away from the people who are unlucky and unhappy. And if you're one of those people, you need to stay away from yourself. Right? Or you need to change it quickly here. Write that down below. Stay away from people who are unlucky and unhappy. These people are disease. They're cancerous. Okay? Got to stay away from these people. Stay away from people that tease you and say, oh, I'm just playing. Bullshit. They're not just playing. Oh, you're going to make $1 million? Oh, okay. We'll see. No, I'm just kidding, man. I know you're going to make $1 million. Stay away from this person. They're cancerous. I'm being honest with you. They're cancerous people. Okay? The only people that you want to be around or even consider being around are people that encourage your dreams. You know, people that can see the glass half full. But even those people, because they might not be successful, you can't spend too much time around them. You know, maybe once a month. Only because they're positive. But positive people don't make people rich, by the way. Just because you're positive, you know, some of you think that just because you're around a positive, well, I got a positive group of friends. What does that mean? You have a positive group of friends? Okay, great. What do you want to be, positive or rich? Or both? We need to find you a rich positive group, not a poor positive group. Come on. Or an average positive group of friends. Does that make sense to you? We're not trying to be positive around here. Right? You should be, like, your standard should just to be positive and be happy about life. That should be your standard. Okay? You don't need to be around positive people if your goal is to create a company and make a ton of money. You don't need positive people if your goal is to create the most delicious body of your dreams. I mean, you're trying to create a great body. So because somebody say, oh, let's go to the gym, let's work out, let's do this thing. Okay, it's not enough. I mean, come on now. Positivity do not make people sexy. Positivity is not going to make a person wealthy. And positivity is not going to create functional relationships with people. Okay? Any questions for me? Did you get value here tonight or this morning? Comment below if you got any value here. Hey, by the way, I love you. Okay? I really do. I love all of you. And that's why I do this, and I will continue to do this for you. I want you to know that you're destined for greatness. You can be destined for greatness. But many of you are acting like you're not because you're not mastering the basics. Spend time on the basics. Like today, read from a book. Think and Grow Rich. Today, listen to some audio. Today, write out your goals and your dreams. Today, write out your blueprint. Really think deep inside yourself. You know, what do I really want for myself? Think about it. Spend the whole day. Turn off your phone. Spend some time by yourself to get to know yourself. Okay? Where can we meet wealthier people? Easy. What's up, Alexa? What's up from Colombia? Where you at, girl? Still in Colombia, huh? Listen, let me give you some of the places where you can meet wealthy people. And honestly, I don't think it's so important for you to meet wealthy people because many of you, you're not even ready to meet wealthy people because wealthy people are either going to disturb you or they're going to, they're not going to share the keys with you. They're not going to, I'm telling you, wealthy people are very interesting people. Two types of wealthy people. Some wealthy people, they're going to be very direct, very blunt with you and tell you what it is. And it's going to hurt your fucking feelings. You're not going to like it. Trust me, you're not. Or two, you're going to be around a millionaire. He's going to tell you everything you want to hear. Oh, it's going to be okay. You'll get it. Don't worry. I'm proud of you. You're going to do everything, blah, 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 whatever. But yet you're doing dumb, stupid things, right? But he's going to say, or she's going to say, oh, it's okay. You're doing well. You're going to do it. Just keep reading that book or keep doing this. Keep fighting for it. You know, it's just, it's BS because it's not, like if he actually listens to you, he knows in the first 5 minutes, or she knows in the first 5 minutes, if you're the type of person that's going to cross over to where he is or where she is. But he's not going to do it, you know, most of them, because they just like, oh, whatever. Let me tell you why a lot of millionaires do that. They don't just give you the gems because they don't believe you're going to do it anyway. So it's just a waste of their time. And one thing about rich and successful people, we hate our time wasted. We don't want to waste our time. And we definitely want to waste our time with average regulatory people who are bullshitting us. And you do this, by the way. You know, average people, regulatory, I mean, always, you know, they just say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. I'm telling you, this is going to be my year. You don't do shit, honestly. And it's a waste of my time. And I don't deal with people like that anymore, honestly. I don't even care. That's why it's very difficult to work with me unless you pay me $50,000 an hour. Understand? Okay? But some places you can meet rich people, golf courses, obviously, 5-star restaurants, 5-star hotels, country clubs. Yeah. They're there. Okay? Successful people. They're shopping in the high-end stores as well. Okay. Any more questions for me here? Hey, how are you guys? And make sure you listen to this again. I just want to make a suggestion. Listen to this again. Why? Because repetition is the mother of skill. Listen to the Sunday mindset message again. Okay? Question here. And thank you for tagging people here on the Sunday morning here. And remember, your homework for this week is this. Here's your homework. I'm going to give you homework like you're in school. Today, like right now, I want you to spend the day of creating the blueprint for your life. We're going to master the basics here. Okay, we're not going to be on the internet looking for how to make money online. Stop it. We're not going to, jump into these Zoom calls. Oh, get on a Zoom call. My Forex Zoom call. My crypto Zoom call. My network marketing Zoom call. My Zoom call. I got to go to Zoom call. Shut the fuck. Like, I hear people with all this Zoom call shit. It's not making you rich and wealthy. Okay? You're not even ready for that because even what you learn in the Zoom call, you're not even applying to your life. You're not even making it applicable, so stop it. Right? What I want you to do is spend some time with yourself and ask yourself very serious, very tough questions. What do you want, big head? Like, what do you want? What do you really want for your life? And start to write. And write for a few hours. Okay? Any more questions for me before I let you go here? Like I said again, thank you so much. I love you. Continue to listen to the rants. You can always go to google.com, type in Wesley $1 Billion Virgin Podcast. They're there. All these are in audio format for you to get access to. If you want access to my Genie Script course, just go to, and it's a meditation course, by the way. It teaches you how to manifest. And I teach you the science behind manifestation in that course. Okay? Go to howtomanifestnow.com. I love you. This is Wesley $1 Billion Virgin. Let's go.